Is this considered cheating or am I overthinking? Context: my boyfriend and have been together for almost 3 years. Recently, August 2024, he began working at a library as an apprentice. There's a girl there who's in 2nd year, which I've met before in October. She's super friendly and it went great. Initially we've met because she wanted to meet me and also because I'm a bit of a jealous girl. I try to hide it for the best of our couple cause I know it's my fault and it's got nothing to do with him at the time, so it was a way to reassure me too. Since end of October it's been rough. My mom was hospitalized several times. She's okay now but still in recovery. My dog passed away not even a week ago and I had a really tight bond with him. He's my first dog, sad face. Wednesday night my BF came to my home after work to sleep at my place. I had the feeling that something had changed for a few weeks now. He has been cautious with his phone. I had a bad feeling, so I chose to search his phone when he went to sleep. I would never have done that. We always had a great relationship, open and communicative. We never had a fight. I found these types of exchanges on his Insta with that girl, translated from French. I love you so much red heart hash red heart hash red heart hash red heart hash. I love it when you're against me too, my chest, and vice versa. Actually, I love talking with you with at least a bit of physical contact. And I can't wait to see you on Tuesday to hug you. Be careful, I'll jump on you Tuesday. Honestly, I should constantly hold you in my arms when I talk to you. I feel like this is really what I want every time. But I find that this poem has its place in our relationship. I'll just imagine that we sleep together tonight if that's okay with you. I admit that at the moment it helps me fall asleep. And I don't want you to think that I'm just swindling around to get sex or anything like that. Because it's not the case. If it was the case I would be clear, me neither. It's really the first time for me. It's a bit creepy to say, but I just want to. It's finding a place where there's no one. And let's hug and talk. You put yourself on me, I put myself on you, we touch hands, and we talk about life. These are just snippets of conversation. I didn't had a lot of time, it's just text that has been sent from him. And more of it. Taking each other hands, hugging, being alone together. They have been exchanging texts like that for more than 2 weeks. Obviously I've confronted him about it. He said that she's a friend and will always be just a friend and that he never wanted more than that, apart from hugging each other, taking hands and all. They've never kissed or anything like that. He had a moment of euphoria, where he couldn't control his emotions. The situation became out of control and he didn't know how to tell me since I've been not very good lately. He agrees to the fact that some of those texts were going too far, but he does not agree that's cheating. He also said many times that it was only words. And continues with the fact that he's been alone nearly all his life. He never had friends like that and he has a lot of difficulties understanding human relationships. He also said that he had the right to have close friendship. He said that I was a tad immature about that too, and that she understood him for things that I don't understand, but I'm such a level above her that you just can't compare. I'm his soulmate and she's a friend, that if it needs to be done he can delete her and don't talk to her again. I've confronted the girl too since we spoke regularly. She and her boyfriend has a very open mindset, so she never saw that as more than just a friendship, but when I confronted her all she could say was sorry, and it was never her intention to be that way, but that now she sees it and she's truly sorry. After talking a bunch I set a 2 months pause. Oh, did I say I'm in an exam period? So we will talk again on March. Since then the girl blocked me, I blocked her too, and they are still following each other. His best friend won't talk to me, which I understand, and yeah, the moment I found out the text I haven't even lost my dog 3 days ago. So thanks 2025. What a lovely start of the year. But truly I just want your honesty. Is that cheating for you? For me infidelity is not just about acts. Is there a future for my relationship? 'Cause I don't think so. I can't forgive him. Thanks for your replies and opinions. Confession 2. Need advice perspective if BF is cheating. My boyfriend was trying to date his coworker before we met. But 2 days before we met, he asked her out and she shut him down. Since then, they text pretty frequently and it has always made me uncomfortable. One time I saw a thread between them where she was gushing over him and talking about how much fun they have at work and how happy she is to be his friend. And that they should hang out again but with alcohol. When I confronted him about it, he got defensive and told me my insecurities were going to ruin his birthday. Since then, he says that they don't talk or see each other at work out of respect for me. A few weeks ago, we had a booth at a flea market. I left the booth to help somebody to their car, and when I came back, she was in the booth and they were acting like they didn't know each other. He didn't know I knew what she looked like. He was very nervous. After she left, I asked him why he didn't introduce me, and he said he was worried about my reaction and uncomfortable that she was there. He also claimed to have not told her he was going to be there this weekend and said it was a coincidence she showed up. I told him it hurt my feelings that he didn't introduce me. After that, he kept scanning the crowd of the flea market. I left again to use the restroom, and when I came back, she was back in the booth. When I walked up, they both still acted like they didn't know each other. He still did not introduce me, and he was still very nervous. She was also wearing a piece of jewelry similar to the ones he makes. He claimed that it was all coincidence and poor timing, and the jewelry must have came from a friend that creates the exact same jewelry. He also claimed he never told her that he was going to be there or invited her to comes. My gut is telling me there is something additional going on that he's not being honest about. Their text message thread is always deleted. What is everyone else's opinion? Confession 3. My husband cheated on me, but I don't know if he does it anymore. We've been married for 10 years with a daughter when my husband went to an online chat platform and had an affair with a woman from another country. He then orchestrated this whole trip to take our family there so he can meet her. Got us to meet her entire family and forced me to be friends with this woman. Since he has never done anything like this before, I didn't suspect him. When we came back home, I was talking to my new friend every week thinking I found a new friend on our trip. Then he insisted we invited her family over to our country for a function, but surprisingly only this woman came. Then they continued the affair while she was with us for 2 weeks, but I caught them and they told me initially it was a fling that started when she visited us. But I later found out he's been having an affair for 2 years with this woman, and they've had online sex and physical sex when they met. Her husband also then reached out to me and said this was her 11th affair, but he stays with her because they have kids. Since finding out everything, I reconciled because I wanted to give him one more chance. But I have doubts that he is still talking to her. No proof, just a gut feeling. So lost and don't know what to do. If I divorce him, I will be all alone in this country raising a child alone, while he will go off and live his life. So I will end up being punished either way for something I didn't do. I know I deserve better, but so lost right now. Anyone has a relating story? Would love to hear what you did next. Confession 4. My ex tried to cheat. It didn't work out for him though. After some time, my ex would sleep with his phone in his pocket. Weird red flag, but I never said anything. When I noticed he wouldn't even pull up his phone in front of me, I knew something was up. One night it slipped out of his sweats and I woke up with it near my legs. I was just going to put it on the charger honestly, but I saw he had a bunch of notifications and messages from a dating app. Man, I wanted to slap him awake. But I didn't. So I created a profile using a friend of mine's pictures that he never met, and I had her approval. She was his type 100%, and I knew he loved blue eyes. So when we matched like I knew we would, we got to chatting. We talked for about a week before I suggested meeting up. Flirting, sexual stuff. He told her, me, that he was single and lived with a friend. So I suggested him paying for a hotel room so we could FCK. He said he would. We picked a spot. Mind you, I paid for everything because he was unemployed after losing his job. He drained my savings account over the year with manipulation. We're family, we take care of each other when we're in tough spots, he would say whenever I told him I didn't have extra money. I paid my student loans, all bills of a 1-bedroom, and the food. This boy had the ballsack to ask me for money in person. That his mom's b-day was coming up and he wanted to buy her something nice. So I gave him $50. Just because it was hilarious at this point. I still think about the smile on his face in that moment. That weekend he left. Said he was going to his mom's and that he'd probably stay the night. I kissed him goodbye and told him to have a great time. Then I packed all of his stuff and left it outside. I live in a US city, so it went fast. Got the locks changed. He messaged me a few times on the app. I told him I was running late because I wanted to look perfect, but I was coming and so sorry. My friend also sent me some sexy pictures to send him that didn't fully include her face. She's a real one. I even talked him into jerking off and sending me a video. Then after making him sit until about 1 a.m., I messaged him on the dating app a picture of his belongings being rummaged through by a homeless man, and to enjoy his stay in a hotel. As soon as my phone rang, I blocked his number and went to bed. He was outside of my door the Monday I came home from work. Ugly, crying, begging, telling me he was homeless and had nowhere to go. When I wasn't having it, he got angry per usual. Once he started grabbing and trying to get into my apartment, I called the police. Filed a restraining order because he did threaten my life, and my pets, for putting him out. Found out he ended up moving a few hours away where his only family is, and has a job. Hopefully he learned something.